What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review of this week's episode of the Junji Ito collection. Apologies for the lateness of this review. That was mostly due to me doing work on some other stuff. We went out for dinner not too long ago, right before I began watching the episode, and just me procrastinating. Yeah. And also, guys, by the way, thank you guys for the view that you guys get, because these videos have actually been doing surprisingly well. The Junji Ito Club, like, these videos in one day get a pretty decent amount of views. They're definitely do a lot better than how my Kai and my Super reviews mostly do nowadays in the first day, and they sure do a lot better in my movie reviews. So yeah, thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are actually watching these videos and actually care, because the views are actually pretty good for these videos. So yeah. So we start. So this the first short story in episode 4 is called "I Want to Believe the Shiver," and it starts off with our MC, which, by the way, the voice acting is a little off for his character because he sounds like he has food in his mouth. Like when he talks, he sounds like he has like legit food in his mouth. Like I don't know if it kind of sounded a little off to me. That could just be me. Anyway, so he starts off, he's kind of like, chilling in his room, reading a book, and he's like kind of there like, I could see my neighbor's, my neighbor's house outside my window. I'm not really talking about, and he's just chilling there. Then we see this doctor show up with no pupils, and he kind of just walks into his neighbor's house, and as soon as he walks in, the female character in this episode, Rena, I think her name was Rena, something along those lines. She screams like when I mean screams, she's screaming like she's getting murdered right now, and she's like, I don't like they're everywhere. She's talking about bugs. And RMC Yuichi, I believe his name is, said that, man, she must really hate bugs. And so then after that, we get a quick flashback to him as a kid when his grandfather died, and he was covered in holes, like these, like just giant holes all around the body, and we see the same doctor with the no pupils saying he has passed. And so yeah, and his parents kind of just had brushed it off like, oh, you're dreaming, trying to repress that memory, kind of like in Erase, where the parents kind of tried to do the same thing to their kids after, when all those kids got kidnapped. Guys don't know that they weren't as obvious about it. I think they were just like low-key trying to do it, but whatever. Oh, and actually, guys, before the flashback happened, his neighbor Rena stuck her hand out of her window, and she had the same holes that his grandfather had, which then triggers a flashback. So then he tells his friend Hideo. Yes, his name's actually Hideo. When I heard that, I was like, Hideo. I immediately thought of Kojima. Anyway, so then after that, he tells his friend, what's been going on, and he tells him also, oh, my parents kind of like, when I asked him this, they're like, oh, you're just trying to dismiss that. Then Hideo tells his mother, which she was actually at the hospital where Irina was born. And she said actually that when Irina was born, she would not cry, but they noticed that the little holes were popping up in her body, which they say that she was breathing through those said holes. So then, his friend actually finds this notebook, and it's pretty much his grandpa's journal, so they search through it, where they find actually, and then we have some flashbacks with his grandfather narrating it, or I guess more specifically him reading off of the book, him pretty much just telling his story before he died, where actually he found this gem jewel. I forget exactly what it was called, but he found this, and then the hole started to pop up on him. The doctor showed up, gave him his injection, which gave him even more holes, and then he realized this thing is cursed, and the doctor is like the curse giver. He pretty much gives the curse or makes it worse or whatever. So, and then he later, he later didn't have any strength. Bugs showed up later and actually went into his back through those holes, which I feel like some of you guys watching will be like, oh hell no, nope, which even I was like, ugh. I mean, I don't have that much big fear of bugs, or some people like that. They're probably like, oh no, but no, I'm not like that. Anyway, so yeah, he turns out that then with the last pistol in hell, he threw it out of the window, and so that's the end of that. Then afterwards, A storm hits. I think it was like a typhoon that hits this part of Japan that they're in. The power goes out, and then our MC hears knocking on his window, and it's actually Hideo, and he too is covered in holes, and god damn the holes. Like Junji Ito, yo, you need to chill, bro. Like, I mean, he's like one of his eyes is like it's not like it's like down below where, like, because you guys know where your eyes are. His eye was a little lower than that. It was kind of like halfway between this like part of skin that didn't have a hole in it, where there were two holes in it. It was like in the middle of that skin where the hole wasn't, and that's where his eye was. There was holes in his face, and I was like, damn. And he said that actually he's holding the gem or stone or whatever the hell it is in his hand, and he's telling them, like, hey, yeah, this thing is fucking cursed. Like, I found this, and then he says, oh crap, the doctor's here, and then he runs away. The doctor starts following him, and then he says later on, the doctor, that his body was found, and they don't know what exactly caused him, and that is the end of the first short story. Now, let's get into the second short story. Okay, so the second short story, I forget what it was called, deals with puppets. So it begins with this family that kind of run like this puppet show. They go to like place to place, from station to puppet shows, and they pretty much just live in this truck. Their kids go to the school whichever town they're in while the puppet show's going on, and then they move to the next town, rinse, repeat. So he's in this town, and he introduces himself, and then he meets this girl. Hadaki, I think her name was. It's something along those lines. Started with like an H. And he's telling him, like, hey, I forget the MC's name. He's like, hey man, like, what do you do? And he's like, oh yeah, we live in a truck. We do like puppet shows. And he's like, mind if I come over? Sure. So then she comes into his place. And then she shows her the puppets, and then he kind of like shows him one of the puppets. His name is. It's called, and in the show, in the Japanese dub at least, it's pronounced Jean Pierre, but it's spelled Jean. It's kind of like Jean from Attack on Titan, where it's spelled Jean, but yet they pronounce it Jaw, and I'm like, isn't it Jean? I don't know, but whatever. Jean Pierre, is that like a Polar? Is that a JoJo? Is that a reference to like Polar from JoJo or JoJo or Polar? No, whatever. I'm getting off topic about talking about JoJo. Anyway, so he shows her, like, he kind of like shows him to her, and she's like, he swats him away. And he's like, sorry, did I scare you? And then we get back to them, and he's talking to his brother, saying like, I'm tired of moving from place to place. We never really can grow bonds. We can't really keep friends or anything. And he's like, man, I wish Dad would just get sick, one day, so we can just settle down somewhere. Which he's like, and he's like, just came, but the wish actually came true. His father did get sick. And he talks about, and he shows that he's like, fucking around with his puppets, and he says like, we are in control of the puppets. Which then we get back to his brother and the MC. They're pretty much in their bed talking, and he actually said that I don't believe that. It seems like more like the puppets are in control of the humans. And after that, the MC says that he ran away from home. We get like a few, like, it's time skip where they're like when they're like around teenagers to adults maybe. He meets the girl again. They said, because actually when they left, he was like, hey, let's meet again. So they meet again. They kind of hit it off, which then they get a letter from his brother, and he kind of just says like, hey, come check out our new place. Which they get to their new place, and when they're opening, it has Jean Pierre. He's like, chilling right in the front, and he's chilling at the entrance of it. And and then his brother's fam come and show up, and they're controlled by strings, like like puppets. They have strings on like puppets. And so he's like, and then he's like, what the fuck? And so this guy like shows him around, like, hey, we're like, we have people upstairs, like 5 people, so we're controlled like puppets, because the puppets are actually in control, but we can still move around like by ourselves. So it's kind of like they actually have like slits in the walls, the ceiling, to where the strings go down, so they can walk and maneuver. And so he's with his little sister when this is all going down. His little sister sees the puppets, and he's like, oh, can I become one of them? He wants to become a ballerina. She wants to become a ballerina, I should say. So he takes her into this room, and she turns and she has turns her into a ballerina, and she too has the strings. And so she starts dancing. She's dancing with a song that everyone has heard. I don't know what it's called, but I've heard the song all over the place in movies. She's dancing, and after a while, his brother's like, "Yo, okay, I'm done. Let's." The MC's tell like, "Okay, okay, I'm done, bro. Let's go." Try to take his little sister, but his little sister is like, "No, I'm gonna stay and move in." He leaves, and he actually doesn't want to bring his. I'm guessing it's now her girlfriend now to visit because he doesn't want her getting involved with this whole puppet shit. And so she finds him. He's fucking around with some puppets for some reason. She walks in, or like comes to the house. She knows, and she's like, "Oh hell no!" So she walks into the door, and there is Jean Pierre sitting, chilling. And actually, we zoom in on his face, and the smile's face grows. And when I saw, I was like, oh! When I saw, I was like, oh hell no! The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ. I don't know. This has to be like a running gag at this point of me quoting The Exorcist, the power of Christ. But in case anyone, I've actually never seen The Exorcist. Yeah, I've never seen The Exorcist. It's on my bucket list to one day watch, but I've seen that scene many times. So, then we have like this fight scene going on where like the guys that are controlled by the stringer, like fight like, oh, we can't move like we used to be. And then we get like, the MC tries to get out. They sees John, and then we see it's his like girlfriend connected to the puppet strings, and she's actually got blood all over her. And there's Jean-Pierre with a knife. So he almost killed her. I think she actually killed her, but maybe not. Anyway, so then we get a quick little fight scene with Jean-Pierre and him. The MC takes Jean-Pierre, hits him against the wall, destroying him, and then everyone gets sent back, and then all the other characters turn into puppets, and then kind of ends with him saying like, oh, were they turned into puppets because they were living like puppets for so long, or were they puppets the entire time? That's kind of where the second short story ends. Very grand. So when I say it's as good as the second episode, no, the second episode was so good. I was like, damn, that's Junji Ito. Like that first episode was so out of place. And in case you wondered, yes, I have seen the Anime Man's video he done the Junji Ito collection, which was actually very interesting to watch. So it kind of makes sense because definitely noticed watching, Junji Ito does not really explain much of anything in these stories, like character motivations or like their origins of like, the villains of the stories, like where did the doctor come from, this, or any of the other shit. But it was definitely a very interesting perspective from that I noticed this a lot more. But yeah, my final verdict for this episode of the Junji Ito collection is a 9 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I feel like links on the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.